before fire, back when we walked uphill for everything. In fact, we didn't even have a concept of downhill because there was no downhill. Everything was uphill. We thought that was normal. We didn't even have a word for it because there was no alternative. It was uphill all the time. You just need to reach down and grab yourselves by your bootstraps and pull yourselves up, sonny. Because when I was your age, I bought a house for $25,000. And I made that money on my paper route and bussing tables at the local cafe. And if I could do it, you can do it too. You just need to reach down and pull yourself up and just buckle up there, buckaroo. God, I hate boomers.
I was doing a video not too long ago, and I was reading through an article, and off to the right, I see a very familiar building. I'm like, there ain't a building that tall in South Dakota. Where is it? So it's downtown Minneapolis. Work security in this building that's there. And 60 South 6th Street, I think it was. And the logo was all cool and South 60. Hey, kids. Hey, whoa, bro. Residential above. Commercial down below, bro. And this wasn't that. This was one of the newer skyscrapers that was all commercial. One of the, I would say, nicer skyscraper buildings as far as skyscrapers go. But I opened it up and saved it to look at later if I finished with the current video I was doing. And I go there and it's just ads for these commercial spaces in this rather luxurious, one of the more notable, it isn't the IDS Center, the Wells Fargo Center, but it's all these ads. Hey, and term negotiable. And this is coming off of 2 buildings now that I think have sold for an over 90% discount. 90% off from when they were previously purchased in the 2010s. Because I don't know how many times we got to tell you, Corpo is this. People ain't going to commute downtown no more. And I am aware that the return to office mandates are in part to get rid of, it's a way to fire people without really having to fire them. It's a way to cut labor costs. I get that. I know that's part of the strategy. But even before that, and I would say the majority of cases, it's great watching these obsolete, outdated, behind the times, not business leaders trying to make a go of these obsoleted downtown buildings. Still just, yes, I can understand the conspiratorial theory and maybe not so conspiratorial, where, yeah, you want to get rid of some people and have them quit. Yeah, require they come back to work. But long ago, it was all bullshit. Once you could start doing email with attachments, it was over. There was no reason for anyone to come into the office. And so for now, 25 years, these closed-minded fools have ruined families' lives. Hell, prevented families from ever forming. Who's dad? Oh, he's that guy that sleeps here every night. I have pictures of him and us in our wedding. Oh, is that dad? That's dad. So they're just doing it to lay off people. Yeah, but I still think the heart and soul is you still want people to come on downtown. You still want to have the sunk cost fallacy with these leases you've signed and these buildings that you got office space for, and no one's coming downtown anymore. No one. And I just wanted to convey to you old timers, you corpos, you executive management, especially you commercial real estate people who should have been on the way to convert these to residential long ago. Fuck off. It's over. The corporate downtown where all the action is, that downtown culture is over. I remember working security at the University of Minnesota campus, right across from downtown Minneapolis, and we get up on top of the roof because sometimes it was actually pretty good to patrol looking down. and you want to make sure with fans and things, bird shit, and whatever. There was a reason to go up on the roof, but you got to see a great thing of downtown at night. And man, I was a young little freshman. I was like, man, I can't wait to work downtown because I just taken my bike and bike through downtown. And it, no joke, it's beautiful. There's a lot to be said for downtowns before adult Democrats came in and started robbing everybody and shitting all over the place. Literally. Literally. If you look at the architect, Chicago is amazing. Amazing architecture in Chicago. New York, too. Unfortunately, a bunch of New Yorkers live there. And so I remember going downtown biking on a bike. That was still a big deal. Oh boy, downtown. Took the bus to get my first television on Montgomery Ward's downtown. Neiman Marcus, all the fancy shit, all the things you could never afford in a million lifetimes. Downtown, restaurants, this and that. I would say in some ways it's kind of like the peak of American culture or performance or maybe some all different all around, but you went there and it was like this higher class, like, wow, this is the big leagues. We're here. Like this is nice. And one building in particular that I like, it's still there. It's the US Bank Corps building. And I interned at that building. And even the interior, and they're like fucking cathedrals. And where I do believe a lot of that is motivated by the interior and exterior architects, like it's works of art is what they are. Modern architecture, you guys aren't artists. You just suck. Just go home, stop building shitty buildings. But if you want to look, US Bank Corps, Wells Fargo building, a lot of buildings in Chicago, very beautiful. And on the inside, just as nice, marble floors and all that. Whereas I think the primary motivation for that was the architects. I can't help but also think a lot of it was to build upon this culture to make downtown areas communities unto themselves where you would want to go because you were part of something bigger than yourself. When in reality, you were just a cog in the machine. In other words, there was an element of, I don't know, that psyops, it's a little much. But they would push that. Well, you want to be downtown where all the action is, don't you? Don't you? It's downtown. Look at those big, pretty buildings they got in the interior. Look at all that marble. And yes, they may have been architectural tributes to man's ability to create tall buildings, make them look very different and unique and pretty and gorgeous or striking or whatever other adjectives and adverbs and other things starting with add you'd like to add to it. There's a piece of me, I'm like, this is like the golden handcuffs. And what it ended up becoming like, not just New York, but it became a lot like Wyoming. If a lot of you say, you see pictures of Wyoming, well, they're not going to show you the 2/3 of Wyoming that is just dry, boring tundra and cold and windy and no trees. They're going to show you Yellowstone, the northern border of Wyoming with Montana, Beartooth Pass, Silver City, the Grand Tetons. I think they're technically in Idaho. They're going to show you, where's this? The river runs through it. Look at all these mountains and beauty. Yeah, it's it's a sizable percentage of the state. It's a third. And Wyoming is in certain areas a very beautiful state. But it's just like downtown. The people fucking suck. Corporate America was never an acceptable environment for human living or conditions or work. Never. Never was. It was you have all these amazing buildings, even the old ones, like with the ornate concrete carving and sculpture, maybe some gargoyles or something on it. The precise choosing of the color of exterior brick you were going to use. It was real beautiful. The people fucking suck. It probably has always been this way in corporate America. I got to imagine starting like the 40s and 50s when this backstabbing shit, when it ran right, Atlas shrugged. All the corporals there were assholes. So I mean, this had to be the culture in quite some time. But ever since I went in there, not once were you ever treated like with a decent fair wage. Not once was the job described as it should be. Not when, in other words, okay, yeah, you got to go down there, but everyone was an asshole. Your job sucked. Life was miserable. You had to commute. All you got was a vision. It was a kind of a Potemkin village in a sort of way. Or like Wyoming, pretty to look at. People are assholes and stupid. And I guess I was happy. I think the best times I had downtown was young and naive, like the best times ever. You think, oh, there's right? You millennials, the day you graduate from college, you were young and naive. That was your happiest day of your life. All fucking downhill from there. Same thing kind of with me, was going through downtown on my bike. If I was rarely lucky to like have the money at the time to take a girl to maybe an okay, not a fancy restaurant, like an okay restaurant. Like Brugger's Bagels. All right. That's when Cappy was rolling in it, when he had Brugger's Bagels right there on Nicollet. It's gone now. But you're there like, oh, look at this is great. I could be part of this. This might be, well, now that would work, right? That would work in a pre-internet world where it's word of mouth, and not only word of mouth, but counter word of mouth. People are like, oh no, you got to go downtown. Oh, you'd like to work for the XYZ corporate, your parents, the boomer advice. Oh, wow, you get to work downtown. That's great. That's awesome. Oh, man. And if you think about just word of mouth and what people say and what people don't say, I think young people are propagandized, at least back then we were propagandized to be more excited and optimistic, err on the side of optimism, not realism, let alone pessimism. But then you look at downtown, any downtown, choose like, man, you got to be impressed with those buildings. You got to be impressed with the skyline. You walk in, the marble floors. And so you thought there was more to it than what there was. And I think a lot of people accepted lower pay, say, no, I got to work downtown. I got to go downtown. And to be fair, at one time, that probably was where all the action was. You had nightclubs and restaurants and bars downtown. Now you don't have that anymore. You got adult Democrat shit in the street. That's what you got now. Congratulations. You voted that way. Shh, be quiet. But that's pre-internet, right? In other words, the construction and architectural miracle that is downtowns. There's no denying that. It's amazing to look at. Like, wow, it's great. You will naturally want to gravitate towards it. But now with the internet, you don't have that cover no more, corporals. You commercial real estate investors, you don't got that no more. Because the internet, in addition to destroying the souls and the livelihood and the hopes and expectations of young people by pushing them through K through 12, and then on top of it, college, because you corpos need your college-educated people to be the trash collector. There's a whole generation, mine, who went through all this bullshit, reported back. So not only do you have these demoralized young people who are like, fuck it, I don't want to work. How many years of school? Teachers fucking suck. The classic Powell quote from Die Hard. That man hasn't seen diddly squat from you. And do you think he's going to give a damn what you do to him if he makes it out of there alive? These guys haven't seen diddly squat. And what was it? Diddly squat in 8 days? Wasn't there for 8 days. Anyway, the internet is there now. And the gig is up. There is no, you can't use the flash and the veneer of downtown corporate office buildings to get young people to come downtown anymore, because they know it's all bullshit. You set the barrier to entry way too high with ridiculous education requirements. You're not going to pay them, so they can't afford to live downtown. They can't afford to even park. Are you going to pay for parking? We can't find employees. You got to pay for parking. Whoa. And so whatever, oh yeah, those are pretty buildings, but I'm not going to drive there every day for the rest of my, heck, forget Gen X. It's just people reporting and the internet exposing it. They saw their parents fucking dealing with that bullshit, never getting home on time, always late, divorce. Because there was I don't know if you knew this, corpos, but having both the mom and dad commute 2 hours a day, not spend time with the kids, kind of has a wear and tear, and it kind of leads to the broken families, and the kids like, fuck that, I'm not doing that. And whereas in the past, you see, you gotta look at it at two halves. There was the build up to downtown culture where everyone was kind of going there, right? Oh, look, we got iron and steel and we can make these really tall buildings. Oh, what a crazy, I'm talking 1920s, 1930s when the skyscrapers are just being built, right? It was, oh man, I can't wait. Look at that. That's new. That's crazy. Look how tall that thing is. Okay, but he even made it pretty and very, very dashing and very interesting. So there were people who wanted to go downtown, and it was economic, have everyone in one building. Oh, take that up to fifth floor to accounting, have Bobby look at it. So, pre-internet and electronic communications, it did make economic sense. And over the course of those decades, well up until the 80s and 90s, they were building. I mean, you think, when were those built? I think the Wells Fargo Tower was even in the early 90s, 91, 92. So we're thinking like, oh, we're still going to be working downtown. The economy's growing, the population's growing. We need more skyscrapers downtown. And so probably at that point in time, you were at peak downtown corporate popularity culture and everything that had gone into informing and building that, which meant in addition to money, there were other things that oftentimes are more important to a lot of people. And the pinnacle trophy, the epitome of the trophy that I think that would be the corner office, right? You all start in cubes, you all start in the basement, there ain't no windows. Then maybe you get a cube with a window. And then maybe you get an office, but it's basically the closet that they just gave it to you because they ran out of room. Then you might actually get a real office. And then you get an office with a window. And then after 80 miles of dick suck, then you get the corporate office, my 67-year-old about to die from a heart attack friend. You've gone through 3 divorces and your kids won't talk to you, but you're a loyal corporate man. You get that corporate office. And I can also imagine, similar to, well, I guess any social group where there's a group of humans together, different things were valued. Not just the corner office, but, oh, we're going to go to this bar for happy hour. Or we're going to go to this steakhouse. I remember GMAC before they fell apart. They rejected me for a credit analyst job. How's that work for you guys? They were in a very nice suburban kind of skyscraper deal. And then they moved to the not so nice skyscraper. And then they went bankrupt because they ran out of money. So I could say, like, we got to get it. Oh, God, of course, corporate executives. Like, I got to get in the tallest building. I got to get in the new one. Because I guess if you're the president and CEO or some high, big level wig and all your community is, it's just like middle school, you need the Nike high tops. We got to get in that building. We got to get this type of marble. I want Cogswell Cogs to walk into Spacely Sprockets and be intimidated by how much we pissed away on shiny rock. Guarantee you that happened. And I know people, because I'm getting old now, and people my age that I grew up with and friends, back in college, now they're starting to be the executive types. They're making partner at no joke, prestigious law firms and even accounting firms. They don't like, they kind of do and they kind of don't like my accounting. Yeah. I'm like, yeah. It's not that bad. Yeah. I sent you another picture of me hiking. But I know, especially in the law firms, the younger junior partners or just young partners, the old partners, all right, we gotta be in this downtown building. That way people know we're really. And the young people like, dude, get rid of 6 floors we're leasing, get one half of one floor, put a real nice boardroom in there, a couple places for meeting rooms. That's it. That's all we want. We want to work from home. We're saving a shit ton of money, not paying for this. And I mean, they're financially motivated and they want to work from home too. But for the rest of you guys, that now post internet, you got to look back at it now. When you were growing up, sure, boomer, when you were born in 1947 and you made it to the Cogswell Cogs in 1970 or whatever, after you dodged the draft or whatever. I don't know what you hippies did. You did something. Yeah, that was, and you were moving into, we get the taller building and this and that. Ooh, marble. That. I could see your entire value system holding on to it. But now, especially now you made it impossible to work for you people. You don't pay enough to live downtown. Crazy. Like, are you gonna pay your employees enough to afford parking, live downtown? No, I don't know why people aren't working for you. Why you have these empty buildings with leases that are never used. But I could see now you're the president CEO and you don't realize this big technological change, not to mention the social change. The younger people aren't doing your bullshit no more. They're not kids these days. You didn't have to get a master's degree to sit for certain things. If you had an associate's, you'd probably get in. So you made that hurdle way too big. Then you guys all come on, baby, light my fire in the 60s and 70s. You voted Democrat and free shit and print off more money. All right, that happened. You didn't train anybody to be carpenters. You told everyone to go to college. And then you got the internet, and my generation says, well, we don't have to commute anymore. Like, if I can't see you, how do I know you're working? And then my generation went in and said, this is bullshit. And we told our younger Gen Z and millennial siblings who, in that regard, they did listen. They did say, we're not working downtown. We're not slaving them. We saw what happened to our old man. We saw what happened to mom. We saw what happened to Murphy Brown. We're not doing that shit no more. We watched Dallas. Any millennials and Zoomers didn't watch. Well, I didn't watch Dallas either. That was more of a baby boomer, like nighttime show. I mean, it wasn't filthy or anything. It was just a nighttime soap opera. That's all it was. As a little kid, you wouldn't be interested in Dallas. All I want to know, well, who has more? JR, and then he had a rival. I forgot. Well, who's got more money? And then depending on my mom who watched it, oh, yeah, JR's got more money. I'm like, okay, well, I like JR then. Deal's a deal. Anyway, that's in the 80s. That's definitely in the 80s. And this whole idea of going downtown where it was almost like it was a culture, almost a temple of worship. Everyone was going there. You had a critical mass of people. Dare I say, you probably like women in skirts, right? Pencil skirts. You guys were there before the women got fat, right? You had sexual motivation to get there too. I remember looking at the charts. I think 70s and 80s, 1 in 5 couples met at work, because why would you want to meet a guy who's employed in your same field and intellectual profession? That'd be ridiculous. Him asking you, well, while that's raisoning, we need to fire him. And now the restaurants are all closed and no one's going downtown and everyone's fat. They're not falling for it anymore. Oh, can I come downtown? I don't want to go downtown. There's crime now. Even if there was a place to work, where would you eat downtown? Really? And so all the non-financial value you associated with success and corner offices and I guess maybe amenities and luxuries that you valued, probably because you worked hard for it. I wouldn't doubt it. Right? You worked really hard at that, building that horse buggy. Well, here comes the car. That's a real nice horse buggy you got. No one gives a fuck. That's a real nice corner office you got. Nobody wants it. You couldn't lower the lease enough for anyone to come down there and commute. And this corporate popularity cult that formed and reached its zenith and peak probably in the mid to late 90s. That's over, man. That's over. And all the trinkets and backstabbing corporate office politics, and you outmaneuvered JP, but JP outmaneuvered EL, and you got to have your marble desktop. It's all over. It's all in a junkyard probably now. I don't know what you do with a marble. You probably wouldn't want to get rid of a marble desk. Those are kind of expensive. But really, that's a great, the big board meeting. Oh, here's a marble desk. It was an oval, and every fucking bigwig was that. Who does that anymore? It's Zoom. What do you do with that oak desk? I'm sure you actually have. I remember when they installed that. We can't get rid of old Okie. He's 90% more. We had to lift it. We actually did manual labor. A couple of people go talk to a therapist. We're white collar workers. We don't know how to install things. It's over, bro. I don't know. I mean, I have a question. Like, Wall Street guys, you still go downtown and drinking? What was it? Was it Boilerplate? Was that the one where everyone goes downtown drinking after they embezzle the fund? I know there's still the embezzling of funds and crime, but does anyone go downtown anymore? Have all the people you voted to let in and like just commit crime and shred? Can you go to, are there places to eat? Are there places for I remember there was one time I went to this higher end bar / restaurant hotel in Chicago. I'm like, man, this is the place to go. You could tell. Chez Louis, for those of you who are John Hughes fans. Next year I stopped by, it was closed. I'm like, what the hell happened? People ain't doing the downtown corporate bro. And what, not only do you have the internet to narc on you and tell everybody what it's really like, where's the last time you glorified downtown? Right, in the movie. Oh, that was the Wall Street movies, and California was it. So you gotta go to California, Sex in the City. You gotta come to New York, and people believe that bullshit. They didn't have anything else to. Well, it's in the movies. It's got to be true. Well, not with the internet anymore. Be like, no, it's not. It's not. So you got one resource. It's time. You could spend your time running ads. Come on downtown and lease this downtown building. And you could go complain to the mayors of all these fucking blue city shithole Democrat crap holes. And so you got to get people downtown. Let's burn more buildings and tell the rich people we hate them, and make parking really difficult and have our criminals steal their cars. That's Minneapolis. There's other problems with downtown. They're not going to do anything. It's not that this is not. No, it's over. It's over. Take your precious time and start converting them to residential. Stop negotiating and pulling teeth with young people today. You need to come downtown at least 3 days. Why 3 days a week? Why? It's going to cost you the same amount whether they're there or not. Why are you inconveniencing your employees? Give it up. And you really got to stop and think, like, does it do you in the long term in your career or the company? Does the company any good profit-wise, and by consequence your career, to have a bunch of people surrounding you because you just want people to be there to what? Worship your dick? Oh, look, the boss has his corner office. I'm coming here 2 days a week, mandatory, no real reason. I'm going to have a desk. We just find a spot. I know several people in this open work environment. And then we still email each other the files. Maybe we sit in a board meeting, but goddamn, they're wasting a lot of money. God dang. Why don't you just convert it to residential? And I don't want to hear from you modern day American pussies that it can't be done. Okay? Go get the genetic material of the people who designed the Hoover Dam and said it could be done. We're going to recreate clones. We're going to put them in charge and say, yeah, we can do it. It's going to be hard, but we can do it. I want to hear those people. I don't want you modern day pussy Americans. I want the real Americans. We got to go back in time. Go get Marty McFly and not the Millennium Falcon. What was the DeLorean? We'll go get some of those old timers and we'll bring them back here. And then you pussies, God damn it. What does it can't mean you can't do it? Well, speak some English, son. God damn it. And then I have to translate. I'm sorry, Jessup, old man from the past. He has an MBA. What in God's name's an MBA? It means he's a pussy and he doesn't know shit. Worse, he comes from the Carlson School, so he's kind of like a special needs MBA. Yeah. Man, to see a bunch of old timers just fucking do it, and then you guys would be still standing there 10 years old. Trying to get remote work. You got to come downtown. You have to return to the office. So there you go. It's over. It's over. Just stop. Save your time. Save your time. It's over. Let's go to the super chats. Lovember, $2. Get them schnazzy business card, bro. Cufflinks. Business cards served a purpose at one time. I don't think it ever got me really any business though. Like you did kind of need them so people have your number. Yeah, there's no need for business cards. There's really no need. Hate 56, $2. Did you vote today? Trump 2024. Yes, I did vote. Yep, I did vote. Drew, $5. How long will it take for these idiots to realize no one wants to commute anymore? They know no one wants to commute anymore. I mean, okay, here's another thing. If I had to commute, you did too. Okay, tell me you're a miserable boomer without telling me you're a miserable boomer. Look, Drew, if you can get humans to realize they're wrong and make changes in their lives, you will be the first trillionaire overnight. The hardest thing is to get humans to realize the wrong and take the corresponding corrective action. I haven't been able to do it. I didn't convince one fucking banker to not make a bad loan. Not one. They all just ignore it. Well, special exception, special exception, special exception. I haven't convinced one girl. Well, okay. I've had clients who are females who have given advice, some of which have followed it, but we're talking less than 5, less than one could count on one hand. The rest of them, I don't think did it. Right? My book did not convince any significant percentage of the population to stop majoring in dumb shit. I mean, I got a lot, thousands, but we needed millions of people to stop majoring in dumb shit. I don't know how the vote will go. I know half the country wants free shit, and no matter how bad their lives get, where it's like at the end of the day, you got to work, dude. That's what it is. We'll see if Kamala gets elected. But yeah, if you could convince people that they're wrong, God bless you. But no, these boomers are just and what else? What think about this? Let me ask you this, Drew. If they don't convert these to residential, right? You got these downtown office buildings. If they don't convert them to residential, you know what they're going to have to do with them? They're going to have to implode them and tear them down to at least free up the land to maybe, I don't know, have housing or a park. Because those buildings take maintenance. They're not cheap to run and maintain. And so you're going to, I don't know if you can mothball a skyscraper. Somebody who's a civil engineer could tell me. But imagine you're Mr. Corporate Executive and you had your career in that downtown building and you had the corner office and then they implode it. It's like blowing up your church. It is. For a lot of these people, they got obsessed with the surroundings, not the business itself, not the profit, that the organization, which is the people and the technology. But that's fine. Yeah, you Amazon, you can say, oh, you gotta come back to work. Although I guess you physically need to be there. It's driving forklifts and things. I get that. But white collar work, go ahead. Just keep. You know what's great if Kamala gets elected, Corpos? I hope you donate to the Kamala campaign. She's just going to give people more money not to work. And they won't work. And you won't find who get immigrants. Yep. Let me know how that goes too. Anything but paying a living wage to Americans. Am I right? Drew, $2. The only perk of downtown office is parking for events. Yeah, but then you got to deal with the traffic getting out of the event. There's no redeeming qualities of downtown. When it was necessary and economic and people were there and you go to like whatever that restaurant or the bar and everyone had a good time and oh my God, maybe people got laid. Holy shit. Maybe people were dating at the office. Oh my God. Ladies, can you imagine the oppression? Dating gainfully employed men who work downtown in the same field? Big old shotgun to the foot with that one, ladies. We don't want employed men in our field asking us out. Kaboom! Why can't I find a man and where is my foot? Drew, $5. Yeah, my relative is a retired corporate attorney, and once the associates pay off law school loans, they bounce for a better work-life balance. Yeah. I mean, and they saw it. Hey, here's another thing, Corpos. Young people ain't having kids. You don't have them over the barrel. They're not a married man. You can't say if you lose it, you're going to lose it. They got welfare and disability checks. And not only that, there was another major liability. Oh, they don't have, I'm not even getting their driver's license. They don't even have a car loan in many instances. The day that they were your bitches, it's over. And I hope you big business Democrats donate a lot of money to the Democrats so we get more money that they don't have to work. Go get my book, A World Without Men, an analysis of an all-female economy. The number of young men who have applied and gotten, I should say collected, mental disability checks have gone up 3 times over women. Women stayed the same, men went up 3 times. Since 2000, 2001, early odds. Just need to pay more money, and then they aren't gonna show. Now, in my day, well, okay, I guess I could have collected welfare. Go back far enough day, the people who built the Hoover Dam, if you didn't work, you didn't eat. I wonder if that might motivate people to show up. I'm working at downtown office building. Lovember, $2. Antidepressants paint life the colors of joy. Good. Is that why all the women in this country are so happy all the time? I'm not kidding. Boy, for crying out loud, for all you people on antidepressants, you sure are depressing. You sure are miserable. Like, I don't see the difference. Like, if I'm taking a drug, I want to be like alcohol. I'm like zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. Being happy, saying hi to my buddies at the bar, just because I feel good. I don't want an antidepressant. It makes you miserable. Just call it a miserable pressant. What do? You take it, you feel miserable. Well, what if I don't want to feel miserable? Well, if you feel miserable, you take this, you feel miserable. Oh, okay. Well, here's your $200 a month on the taxpayer dime. JJJS 279 Canadian. Aaron, I thought you voted cackling Karen, laughing all. Just kidding. Nope, voted Trump. Again, I wanted Vivek. Past 3 times now, the Republicans I wanted in the primary didn't get the nomination. Mitt Romney and Donald Trump. You could have had Gen X. You could have had Vivek. Drew, $2. Fuck titles. It's all about the money and the lifestyle. Yeah. That would be another thing. Like, there was a prestige that came with downtown, right? Oh, I wonder how much credence and legit what's the word? When a currency has veracity, what the hell? Intrinsic value. I wonder how much intrinsic value a guy working downtown, women's desire, sexual desire, or romantic interest in men who work downtown. Like, oh, I work downtown, so it's going to help me get the girls. My truth, the king, $2. That's it. Anya's going on the belt. No regrets. You're right, eh? There was a fashion at the time. Drew, $2. But what will bankers do without downtown? They are already out in the burbs, making bad loans and expected you taxpayers to bail them out. And planning to move 3 years. Dude, I saw it where bankers make all these shit loans and then they'd leave like 2 years or 3 years after, right before the loans were coming due and their clients weren't going to pay, and they just go to another bank. Banker Hunter Cappy. It's not it. I would love that to be a comic book and the real world. Just what does he do? He hunts down bankers. I wouldn't do that because it'd be illegal. And by the way, that's the only reason I don't do it, is because I would end up in a cage if I did. But man, would that be fun times, huh? Huh? I'd film them. I say, all right, tell them how you screwed over the taxpayer. Tell them about the loans you made. Is this your house? Here's some gasoline. All right, you're going to light the match. No. JJJS 279 Canadian. Chuck Norris at a feminist rally came back with a sandwich. Right. That's an old one. Drew, $2. Yes, let's commute for DEI pronouns and bathrooms. Oh, yeah, that's another thing, Hollies. That's more my generation now. Oh, my God. Fuck who you are and your ability. It's all about the way you were born. Dude, you think people aren't willing to commute now, come to your office, whether it's downtown or not. You get Kamala Harris in there and a compliant Congress, you start passing your laws with, I can't imagine what DEI horseshit's going to come later. No one is going to work. No one's showing up unless they're self-employed. Paul Navarre, $5. What is one thing or skill you wish you knew or learned at 18? Carpentry. No, I would have to say auto mechanic skills. I would take auto mechanic skills over carpentry. They're very close, but you needed a car. I wish I just could fix cars. I can barely do that now. Yoda Coyote, $5. Service industry folks can't afford to live anywhere near downtown. Right. Gee, I wonder if a flood of condos from recently converted skyscrapers would lower the price of lodging and housing, and then people could afford to live downtown. Let's put up some more tents. Bob, $2. But bro, all the actions are in the city, bro. Is there? There isn't any action. That's another huge demoralizer just to get men to do anything. Look, the internet also exposed girls. Like, we're looking at it like, what? Oh, fuck. I just did a video, guys. Like, I didn't feel like going on a date. Now he's 36, 37. And he was like, he canceled because he didn't want to go. Men are not, we're not showing up anymore. They're not showing up at schools. They're not showing up. They're not going to show up at the prom, and they're sure the fuck not going to show up downtown. Wisdom Vision Productions, $5. Got into a text buddy situation with a depressed girl. Just ended it due to games. Men, women can't be friends. Just pay for it, gents. Not worth the headache. How long did you? I mean, look, it's okay if you're texting a girl just for fun, and if you're friends. I mean, okay, what's up? You know, that kind of thing. But if you're trying to like game her and get it, like, dude, that fresh and fit are right. Your goal is to get them off text as quickly as possible. Give them to meet in person. You want them off that fucking phone. Back when I was younger, there was a couple. It was more email than it was texting, where I like be emailing a girl back and forth, like, "Hey, when do you want to get together?" I'm busy. And okay, cool. Well, let me know when you're ready. And then you're gone. You got shit going on. Wisda, $2 again. Yeah, I should have known better. I know. Hey, you're a younger guy. And texting is the thing the young kids do now. Have you tried putting onions on your belt, Wisda? Drew, $2. Definitely use all my sick time. Might as well. Wisda, $2 again. Red Dead Redemption, Campy Banker Edition. That would be. Oh, I could run so many places with that. It would be, now again, I'm not advocating it. I wouldn't do it. But again, literally, the only reason I don't is because it's illegal. But there would be kind of more of a Silence of the Lambs. Was that where he captured them? I'd capture them and make them repent and confess, like, to the video. Oh, no, it wasn't. What the hell? It wasn't Silence of the Lambs. The horror. Saw. He always gets them in some kind of contraption, and yeah, they have to admit they're always skis or so. I wouldn't do that much. I don't know. I'd be like, all right, so how'd that loan go? Oh yeah? And you'd have to get the comic. But Cappy would get vengeance. I get revenge for the taxpayer. The taxpayers would be satisfied. Drew, $2. You're welcome for the Banker Hunter title. Thank you, Drew. I appreciate it. All right. That's it. Link below, I think, is Bachelor Pad Economics. For all the guys and the gals, you don't want to be working in corporate America. You don't want to be working downtown. Manage your money right. I mean, you're all going to have to work downtown or in an office. That's just the way it is. But you don't have to do it for your entire life. The sooner you get your financial shit together, the sooner you can be free of an employer. So please go get the book, Bachelor Pad Economics. Goes through every minor and major financial decision you will make in your life from the age of 14 to death. Yes, there's an estate planning one. And that's it. See you guys later, Toodles.